Hi students, welcome to Vijayata IAS Academy. In Hindu newspaper today, there is an article related to Silver Line project. Here, author is highlighting the positive benefits, positive impact of railway projects like Silver Line. Let us see the contents what are given in this content and how you can use in examination. Here, in prelims point of view, you can think like Silver Line project is related to which of the states, that is Kerala. And in case of mains, GS3, in GS3 you can use this content like what are the economic advantages or impact of Silver Line project on a particular state's economy. In GS4 also you can expect like as a case study. Suppose if you are an officer who is given duty to convince people about the benefits of Silver Line project, how you will convince people about the impact of Silver Line project on their day-to-day lives. So you can expect such kind of case studies also with this kind of content. This content can be used in GS3 and GS4 also. Now let us see what are the contents given and how he is highlighting the positive impacts of Silver Line project. Here author is a professor in IIT Delhi. Here he is trying to highlight the benefits of Silver Line project. Silver Line, semi-high speed railway line in Kerala. It is partly funded by state government. It covers a distance of more than 500 kilometers. If we take the time, it reduces from 12 hours present to 4 hours distance. This shows that the speed at which this railway line moves people from one end of the state to the other end of the state. It almost integrate entire Kerala state with a single project. The journey takes at least 12 hours now, it will reduce to 4 hours. Criticism is mostly about people will not use this project. At this moment, Kerala do not require such kind of projects. Anyway, it is not going to help the people also, and environmentally it is not sustainable, and also financially state will be pushed to debt. So these are the major aspects of criticism. But author is highlighting one by one. He is giving the example of Japan. Why he has taken Japan means Japan built the world's first ever high speed railway. Japan is the first country which has created this railway line. In 1950s, why he is quoting Japan means it is the first one, and also in 1950s there were serious doubts about its viability in country that had been devastated by Second World War. Immediately after the Second World War, the condition of Japan was so pathetic that it was very difficult for Japan to rise. Still, it has came out of the devastation, and today Japan is having one of the commanding economies in the world. However, since its inauguration in 1964, this railway line has been powerful agent and a symbol of Japan's economic resurgence. This is how he is trying to compare. During the times of 1950s, Japan shattered due to Second World War. Under these circumstances, having a railway line like this, the public criticism also must have been there, but still they have executed the project, and now this particular project has become a symbol of Japan's economic resurgence. Now how he is comparing with Kerala with Japan. By 1980s, Kerala has achieved most of the preconditions required for an economic takeoff. In 1980s itself, Kerala has already achieved some of the fundamentals which require for economic takeoff, like public health and education. These two important fields are very essential for development of any state. These two sectors were highly vibrant in 1980s itself in Kerala. Its record in public health and education then and now also, Kerala is one of the best states which is having command over public health sector and education sector. Was not only the best in the country but comparable to that of East Asian tiger economies. It is not only best in the country but comparing with other countries also, the standards of Kerala are still high. But low share of public sector investment. That's how he is trying to compare. Even though in health sector and education sector the Kerala state has achieved success, But due to low share of public sector investment like infrastructure, in this case like roads and railways, the research and academic institutions affected economic potential. Due to lack of funds, now you can see in 2022, we are in 2022. He is trying to compare in 1980s. Even though public health and education sector were strong in 1980s, investments in infrastructure were very poor. Now in 1980s, now come with 2020, after 40 years also, still Kerala is not able to use its full potential. Reason being, the infrastructure investment was poor in 1980s. Now think in 2020. In 2022, if we neglect infrastructure investment, again in 2040s also, after few decades also, the economic potential of Kerala cannot be realized. This is author is trying to explain with respect to Kerala, but you can compare with other states as well. So in the overall Indian context also, you can compare this. Along with public health and education sector, investment in infrastructure projects like this is essential for future growth. That is the content, or that is the crux the author is trying to say. Because Japan in the Second World War, after immediately Second World War, they created infrastructure, they gave push to the investments in infrastructure. Today Japan is getting the benefits out of this investment. Over decades, Kerala has been a large exporter of skills. Estimates suggest that 10 to 15 lakh people from Kerala are employed in high skilled jobs because of investment in health and education sector, as nurses, engineers, teachers, media professionals and so on, outside the state, most of them outside the country. They are not working within Kerala, but they are working in outside Kerala, and mostly they are working outside country. There is now growing realization to use talents of its educated job seekers within Kerala. The Kerala State Planning Board has outlined the possibilities for knowledge-led economic growth. Unless there is an economic planning which is based on knowledge, then using these skilled employable youth is not possible within Kerala. In addition to tourism and information technology, which are already economically important sectors for states like Kerala, the sectors in which Kerala seeks potential include healthcare, life sciences, biotechnology, media, animation, and other sectors like space, aeronautical technologies, and artificial intelligence. In future, not only tourism and IT, but future technologies also had to be developed. For this, high skilled youth are required. Already skilled people are there in Kerala, but now on account of less possibilities within Kerala, they are going out of state and out of country. In future, if we need to use these skilled youth, we have to improve these sectors. Now, how he is trying to connect with the Silver Line project means, these kind of developments, these kind of industries will develop only when there is a strong transportation system and when there is strong interconnectedness within the state. That is how he is trying to connect. In the post-pandemic world, as companies seek greener and less congested spaces, Kerala will provide better opportunities in this case. And due to pandemic, due to COVID, the behavior of companies and industries also changed. They are seeking greener and cleaner, less congested people so that it will not affect the health of employees also. And now COVID has also seen that people can work from anywhere. Still, the productivity of companies will not reduce. Moreover, it will increase their benefit, increase their profits. That is why in post-pandemic world, companies are seeking greener, that means cleaner and less congested spaces. There are numerous towns and villages which provide hygienic living conditions, safe public spaces, excellent health and education facilities, good internet connectivity, and all other modern amenities in Kerala. We can use these benefits that are there in Kerala and we can improve the industries like this in future. Then only the true potential of economic benefits can be realized. Building an effective public transport system is central to realizing Kerala's economic ambitions. So this is how he is connecting. he is explaining the importance of systems like Silver Line project. How this project helps. Finally, he is explaining how this project helps. The proposed semi-high-speed railway, which will cover 11 of Kerala 14 district, assumes importance in this context. This could be similar to the way local trains have uplifted the economy of Greater Mumbai region, or the long-run impacts made by London Underground Railway. This suburban railway in Greater Mumbai and in London, they have created enormous potential for the cities like Bombay and London. Similarly, the projects like Silver Line project, not only for single city but for entire state, this project will help and it will give the economic benefits. In fact, the need to have frequent stops, here the speed semi-high speed at an interval of roughly 50 kilometers partly explains why Kerala has opted for semi-high speed and not high speed. High speed means it may go at the speed of 320 kilometers per hour, but semi-high speed it goes at the rate of 200 kilometers. Because limiting this speed is the reason, because it wants many stops in between. This shows that this railway project is to integrate different parts of the state. Project should be viewed as part of tomorrow's and not today's Kerala, catering to the needs of a much bigger economy. Here it comes the project. Here you can see this. See the example of Japan, why he compared. They invested in 1960s and later they got the benefits out of this investment. And now how Kerala missed this opportunity. In 80s itself, Kerala achieved some of the basic infrastructure like health and education, still neglected infrastructure investment. That is why we are not able to yield full potential of economy. At least now in 2022, if we invest in infrastructure projects like Silver Line, in future full potential of economy can be realized in case of Kerala. But this example we can set for other states as well. Now coming to the criticism. There are already some concerns regarding this particular project. Environmental concerns. First one is land. Here criticism is about the land acquisition. It requires a lot of land and it will lead to displacement of people. Now how author is trying to explain this. But in the long run, there are no doubts that public transport systems such as Silver Line run on renewable energy and capable of carrying more than 1 million passengers a day will help reduce pollution and carbon emissions. Environmentally, that project it will lead to environmental pollution, carbon emissions, but here author is saying it will run on renewable energy. It will reduce a lot of carbon footprint and reduce the carbon emissions. It is also clear that land-scarce Kerala cannot afford to depend on road network for its future transport needs. In future, definitely requirement of transportation is going to increase. Now what is the other option if we do not follow Silver Line project? We have to depend on road network. But road network is not sustainable. That is how author is explaining. The number of motor vehicles on the state's road have doubled over the last decade. More number of vehicles are there. Now there is more burden on existing road network. To limit this burden, we have to increase the road network. There are 14 million vehicles in Kerala, 3 million cars, so number of vehicles increased and also increasing number of accidents due to congestion. Comparable to now, in this case, what is the solution to increase the road network? But comparing with the 6-lane national highway, now he is trying to compare. If we enhance the road network to reduce the burden, how much land is required? If we follow Silver Line project, how much land is required? The proposed semi-high-speed railway will require only half the amount of land. If 6-lane highway is proposed or if 6-lane highway is connected, if we develop such kind of road network, the amount of land that is required for Silver Line project will be less than 6-lane national highway project, but can carry 3 times the traffic. You can see the benefits. The amount of land that is required for project is less and also benefits 3 times more traffic can be transported through this Silver Line project. So comparing with the land requirement also, To serve the future needs, this Silver Line project is more beneficial comparing with existing road network expansion. When it comes to cost also, here there is a criticism that the cost of this project is very high. It will push the state into debt and it will create a lot of impact on economy in future. This is one of the criticisms. But author is saying that the existing argument or existing assumption is that economy will remain where it is today. The critics who are saying they may be expecting that economy will not grow in future. Whatever economic condition today, it will remain same. That is why it will create burden. But due to projects like Silver Line project, economy also will improve and it will nullify the debt problem in future. As Kerala's economy enlarges with the stimulus given by the new railway line, the debt will be within manageable limits. This is how author is justifying that criticism regarding cost also is not a valid one. Next criticism regarding natural calamities. The fears that construction of semi-high speed cause natural calamities may be unfounded. He is once again bringing the Japan example. Even as it crisscrosses an earthquake prone terrain, Japan is more prone to earthquakes. The Japanese high speed, now we are semi-high speed, but Japan is followed high speed rail network, seems no fatal accidents in over the last 6 decades. In the last 6 decades, no fatal accidents due to earthquakes. This shows that this kind of criticism is not also valid. In Kerala, we are following semi-high speed and we need not to worry about natural calamities as well. And the debate must continue. However, he is not saying that the debate regarding whether it should be stopped or not. He is not saying that debate should not be continued. He is also saying that debate must continue, but public debate covering financial and technical aspects. How much finances is required and what should be the technical aspect. Suppose earthquake is important area and what kind of technology should be used to limit the fact or to limit the burden of if there is any damage due to earthquake. Such kind of debate must continue so that new technological advancements can be used in the creation of Silver Line project. But Silver Line project must continue. It must address questions such as whether the new railway should run on standard gauge or broad gauge, whether modernization of existing railway network will turn out to be a more cost effective option than building a new rail line. So the debate, he is in favor of debate whether it should continue or not, or instead of semi high speed rail, if existing railway line is improved, if same kind of benefits come, then such kind of debates must continue. The concerns regarding environmental impacts and compensation to those who lose their land for the project must be looked into. These debates must continue. The planning for railway should not be done in isolation. However, he is saying that only one should not see this project a single isolated one. Go hand in hand with measures to reinvigorate the industrial technology tourism sectors in the state. Comparing with future development and other industrial developments, you have to see Silver Line project in comparing with future requirement or future potential of Kerala. All of these must be done in a forward-looking and time-bound manner. Forward-looking manner and also time-bound manner, so that the projects like Silver Line project can be executed soon and people will get the benefits out of this. At the same time, the voices that reject outright plan must realize that they are doing grave injustice to the state's future. So he said in the article, this kind of project should be seen keeping future in mind, because in future the requirement of future generation will vary and it only projects like Silver Line project will cater the needs of future generation. So this is how author is trying to explain the benefits of Silver Line project. You can use in GS3 also, and you can use if any case study comes related to such kind of projects, you can use the content there as well. This is about the article given in the Hindu newspaper. Thank you.